Our family cannot get enough of this recipe. The skin is ridiculously crispy and it's so good. My 10-month-old ate an entire chicken thigh all to himself. Better make sure you make extras because this will be a hit. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, and in today's video, we are indeed smoking up some bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. We're gonna smoke this at a super low temperature for 1 hour to get a really good smoke flavor in these chicken thighs. Then we're gonna finish it off at a high heat and glaze them. These are gonna be packed full of flavors, super cheap, super affordable, and super awesome. So make sure you guys stick around to the end of this video to see how they turn out. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We're posting a new video every Tuesday and Thursday. So with all that being said, let's just get right into the video. Our first step is to trim up these chicken thighs. Flip this guy over so the skin's down, and we're just gonna kind of take a look at how we're laid out here. And as you guys can see, there's a lot of excess skin that's sticking out. So the first thing we're gonna do is just take our knife. We're just gonna come and cut off that excess skin. As you see, gonna cut that off. Now we're gonna take and get this side over. As you guys can see, there's a lot of excess skin over on this side too. We wanna make these nice and pretty, so we're gonna take and get this as square as we possibly can. We're only cutting out just a tad bit of meat, but now when we flip it over and we take a look, so you guys can see, you have a very nice, squared, nice little unison chicken thigh. So that's how we're gonna trim these up today. I want them to be nice and pretty for the video. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rest of these up now. I have about like 10 or 12 of them. I'm not gonna bore you guys to death by, showing you every single one that I cut up. So I'll finish these up and then we'll move on to seasoning them. So our first seasoning that we're gonna start out with today is salt, and we're just gonna hit these up with just a little bit of salt. I don't wanna go extremely heavy because we are using a rub today, and that rub does contain salt, so we're gonna go light. Then secondly, we're gonna come over with just a little bit of this black pepper. I don't wanna put on a whole lot. I just like the kind of a bite that it gives. Black pepper adds a little bit of that spice, a little bit of that kick that I really love on my chicken, and that looks good to me. And lastly, we're gonna come over with a little bit of this Sweet Preacher from Fire and Smoke Society. I kind of like this rub. I actually had it on chicken thighs last week and turned out pretty great. It said Sweet Preacher, but it did have a little bit of a kick to it. I don't know if that was because pepper, I don't know, but we're gonna go on kind of heavy on this side. This is the meat side. That looks good to me. Now we're gonna take and flip these bad boys over, all 4 of them, or however many you're doing. Then we're coming back with our salt on the skin side. And the reason why I started on the meat side down is because whatever side is going to be facing up on the grill, that's the side that I like to end on. So these are going with the skin up on the grill. So I kind of like to start with the meat side up, season that. That way I only have to flip it once. I don't know, it's just a weird preference. So that's just the way I like to do it. Now we're coming back with some for Sweet Preacher, and I'm gonna go a little bit lighter on the skin side than I did on the meat side. Just a little bit. Just give it a nice little color. That looks great. I'm really liking how this looks. And that's good for me. So now that our bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs are all seasoned up, you can go outside, fire up your smoker, get your oven preheated, or whatever you're cooking this on today. Now is a good time to do that. Today we're using my Pit Boss Austin XL, and we're gonna use the smoke setting to smoke these. We're gonna do that for 1 hour, and we're using hickory pellets. And then we're gonna crank it up to 350 degrees to finish these off with a nice little glaze on them. So make sure you guys stick around. I'll see you soon. All right, so today, got our chicken thighs, and I'm going with the skin up on these bad boys. And when I set them on there, I'm gonna kind of try to plump them up a little bit. Just kind of tuck in those sides. Just like that. Get them real nice and good. This is gonna be good eating for dinner tonight. I love chicken thighs. And the skin kind of came off of these two in the pack. So that's kind of why those look skinless, because they are. Let's go ahead and get this on here. And there we go. We're at the 1 hour mark now. Let's go ahead and take a look at our chicken. And as you guys can see, we're looking really nice and good. I made these before, so I know 1 hour at this low temperature, we're not even close to being done. Just go ahead and shut this down and get it cranked up. All right, so now let's go ahead and get this turned up to 350 degrees. Let's go inside and make our glaze. Now that we have our smoker turned up to 350 degrees, we're inside, we're gonna make this glaze. I'm doing a very simple, very easy glaze. It's just 2 ingredients. I don't even, what was that? Oh my gosh. just making 2 ingredients, that's 4. We're making 2 ingredients. That's all we're using. Guys, I'm struggling today, I'm sorry, but that's okay. It's humorous, I hope, maybe. Anyways, we're just using barbecue sauce that's already made, and we're using apple cider vinegar. So as you guys can see, barbecue sauce in and of itself is very thick. And so we're just gonna be adding in some of this apple cider vinegar to thin it down. And how much am I gonna use? It's gonna be different for every barbecue sauce that you use. So just add in, you know, a little bit. This is about 3/4 of a cup, half a cup of barbecue sauce. And we're just gonna add in our apple cider vinegar, or you could do apple juice, any of that. And we just wanna change the consistency of our barbecue sauce. And there's really no recipe that I could give you exactly to follow. See, it's a little bit better, but we still need a little bit more, as you guys can see. So let's just add in a little bit more, because every barbecue sauce that you use is gonna be a little bit different. Different consistency, different thickness, whatever liquid you use. So customize this, make it your own. I like the tang and the kind of a bite that apple cider vinegar gives when it's mixed together with barbecue sauce. This is perfect. Look at that. So we're good to go. So now that we make our glaze, we're gonna put it in the microwave just for about 30 seconds or so, 20 seconds. We just want this glaze to be nice and warm, not cold. You don't wanna put cold sauce on hot chicken while it's smoking. It's gonna lower the temperature. Just gonna do some weird stuff scientifically that I don't understand, but I just trust what I hear. So hopefully I'm right. So now from experience, I know that an hour at that low temperature and probably about a good 30 minutes at 350 degrees is gonna be all that we need to complete our chicken. So after the chicken has been on for 15 minutes, we're gonna glaze it. That way in that final 10 to 15 minutes, that high heat has enough time to tack on and caramelize this glaze onto the top of our chicken thighs. It's gonna give them a beautiful color and finish, and it's gonna add amazing flavor. So I hope you're ready. I'll see you at the 15-minute mark. So we're here at the 15-minute mark now. Our chicken is pushing up into like that 160-ish range right now. So it's a perfect time to glaze. So let's glaze it up and let's let it ride out the last 15 minutes. All right, so let's get it open. And as you see, we got nice and beautiful chicken. The skin is really starting to crisp up real nice underneath this high heat. All right, so now we're just gonna glaze this up really nice and good. And this is being painted on really nice. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I know this is gonna add a lot of flavor, gonna caramelize real nice. So we're not going on super thick or heavy or anything. But yeah, this is just adding on the perfect little bit of color that we want onto our chicken. Oh yeah, look at that, that's great. Beautiful. I really love my job. Go ahead and get that on there, paint it up real nice with your little brush. All right, so let's go ahead, finish this up, and we are gonna get it shut down. It has now been 15 minutes. Let's check the internal temperature and see where we're at. All right, we're gonna open it up, and look at how beautiful these bad boys look. They're looking really, really nice. That glaze gave a really nice color to them. Looks awesome. Let's go ahead and stick it. And if you see, right there, 179. But these are all done, so let's go ahead and take them off. We are back inside now, and I just want you guys to take a look at what we've accomplished today. That glaze really tacked up super nice on here, and you could still see the seasoning, that little pepper that's shining through. The skin looks nice and crispy. This meat is gonna be amazing and tender. I just know it, I could see it, I could smell it. So now it is time for us to take a bite, but before we do, I just wanna do a quick recap of what it was that I did today. We took our chicken thighs out of the package and then we trimmed them up. We hit them up with salt, pepper, and our Sweet Preacher seasoning. After that, we put them on our smoker and we used the smoke setting. We let them roll in that smoke for 1 hour. Then we cranked up the heat to 350 degrees, came inside, made our glaze. At the 15-minute mark, we took our glaze outside after it was heated up, of course, in the microwave. We painted up our chicken thighs, let them hang out for another 15 minutes in that smoke, in that heat, let it caramelize up real nice. Then here we are back inside and we have our finished product. And it is just dripping with juice as I'm touching it. It looks absolutely phenomenal. So here you guys go, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's take a bite. So guys, here we go. there are so many things happening here, and each one of them is so good. First off, that smoke setting on the Pit Boss. Shout out to the guy in the comments. I forget your name. You told me to look this up. I did. I used it. Added a lot of smoke flavor to this chicken, especially chicken, because chicken in and of itself is hard to get a good deep smoke flavor in it because you need to cook it at a higher temperature to keep it juicy, to get the skin crispy. But man, that had a great smoke flavor. I really like the salt and pepper. I feel like I can taste it. That peppery bite has a little bit of that spice, a little bit of that kick. And this rub on here just added beautiful color all the way around to this chicken. All in all, this was an amazing meal. It is super cheap. These chicken thighs, I got 12 of them. I think it was like $8 or $7 at the store. These are nice and juicy, tender. You could shred this apart, put it on a pizza. Maybe it's the next video, guys, you'll see. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm giving a little hint. But if you did watch the video all the way to the end, maybe you just found out what I'm going to be posting next. So stay tuned. So with all of that being said, I'm going to take another bite of this. I will have to see you guys later in the next video because this is all that I have time for today. I need to go hang out with my chicken. So if you are not, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with your friends. I hope you guys have a great day, night, or whatever time it is when you find this video. And as always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace. Chicken ham.